What's up, nerds? As we expand our video presence on YouTube, we wanted to bring lists into the mix because who doesn't like lists? Our list this week will focus on 10 Japanese developed games from the PlayStation 4 era that you probably didn't play, but should have. That's right, the PlayStation 4 era has a ton of games, so we know some had to fall under your radar. Given our focus on Japanese titles, we wanted to begin our list adventure with some games that we thought deserved a bit more attention. Are they perfect? No, because if that was the case, they would have been more popular, but they are good. And that's all that matters. Initially released on PlayStation in 1999, the Silver Case gave players an early look into the mind of video game director Goichi Suda, better known as Suda51. However, Western players would have to wait over 15 years before they could officially play it with the Silver Case HD remastered release. This version brought the game's resolution to modern standards, but that actually wasn't easy, considering their original source code had been lost. Still, the development team at Active Gaming Media rose to the challenge to get the game released. The result was an almost completely updated version packed with new UI and music from Silent Hill's composer Akira Yamaoka. During gameplay, players had to investigate a series of murders tied to a known serial killer. However, that serial killer is in a mental institution, so who's committing these murders? Players need to investigate crime scenes and interrogate witnesses as they aim to crack the case wide open. Developer Tri-Ace is known for giving us some of the best JRPGs ever, but some of these titles aren't as well known, one of them being Exist Archive. Released in 2016, Exist Archive borrows systems from Valkyrie Profile where players can navigate a 2D world and initiate battles. The characters are made up of 12 kids who died in an explosion and found themselves fighting for survival in the fantasy world of Protalexia. Throughout the adventure, players will make choices that will decide their fate as well as the ending of the game. The game features Japanese and English voiceover as well as animated scenes, which added a layer of quality that you don't normally see in these niche JRPGs. As a follow-up to Demon Gaze 2 improves this dungeon crawler RPG series with new systems, characters, and awesome dungeons to explore. In this adventure, players acquire the Demon Gazer's power, which gives them the ability to control monsters. The entire experience is brought together with systems of setting out on missions, fighting challenging bosses, and filling up your party with capable fighters, which you can also spend time with by visiting their rooms in a hotel. There's a ton of replayability as you level up and build skills with new weapons, but we feel the main campaign is strong enough on its own to warrant a playthrough. Developed by Katakoa Games, God War's Future Past is an interesting tactical RPG that utilizes classic systems in the genre but adds unique gameplay elements to give it a modern feel. The game's narrative weaves in Japanese folklore as a girl named Kaguya prepares to be sacrificed to prevent the world's destruction. However, she ends up fleeing the scene with her friend to discover why the ritual takes place and hopefully find another way to save it. Gameplay has players adding numerous party members to their group who each have different skills and abilities that will come in handy for the many tactical fights ahead. One look at Knights of Azure and you'll probably notice why gamers might have picked it up, but you'll also see why many have passed on it. Even with the well-endowed protagonist Arnice, Knights of Azure gives players an action narrative-driven experience that should be given a chance. During gameplay, players will take on missions where they will clear out a ghostly town filled with demons. Arnice has the power to summon demons to fight along with her as she chains together attacks using various skills. There's as much emphasis on narrative as there is waifus in this game, so be prepared for lengthy story scenes that developer Gust is known for. Regardless if Akiba's Trip Undead and Undressed was released on PS3 and Vita, it eventually came to PS4, and that's all that matters for this list. Players assume the role of Nanashi, who has been caught up in a supernatural situation. Creatures known as synthesers have invaded Akibara and feed off the social energy of humans. However, direct sunlight seems to stop them, so that means players will be able to strip them in the streets for the sake of humanity. This game is insane in all the right ways, blending narrative and action. We get a fun and over-the-top story of a group of otaku kids as they fight to stop the evil Magamono organization. Yes, Blue Reflection is on this list, and while you might criticize us for including 2 Gust-developed games, we couldn't care less. Blue Reflection is an RPG adventure where players pretty much become magical girls with their friends at school. Each day, Hanako goes to school and interacts with classmates who struggle with their daily issues. Well, it's up to the players to help them by gathering emotional fragments that reside in a fantasy world. Oh, there's also these enormous boss battles that make the experience exceptionally epic. Through its beautiful character design of pastels and soft colors and its amazing soundtrack, this is definitely a game that will have you feeling like a true magical girl. As an updated version of Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters, Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters Daybreak Special Gigs gives players a reworked battle system and more refined scenarios for this adventure. Players assume the role of a transfer student who happens to encounter an evil spirit haunting his snooze school. After the ghost attacks, you are saved by a classmate who you then team up with to exorcise the spirit. As the story continues, you end up joining a group called the Gatekeepers and begin your adventure. Sadly, no one really talks about this game, but its blending of narrative and gameplay elements make it a decent adventure visual novel that deserves more attention. So you're telling me, we get to find our soulmate, hang out with cute girls, and build a party of magical girls to fight monsters in Song of Memories? Do you need a better reason to play this game? Song of Memories might have gone unknown by many, but it has a lot of qualities within its romantic themes. The game features some highly detailed CGs and exceptionally lewd scenarios involving the romanceable girls, which there are 6 of. There is a plot to this game that does become rather emotional, but most of the time we are distracted by the cute anime girls. Across each route, players will spend time with the girls and encounter strange monsters as the themes of the adventure become more supernatural. It's a mixed bag here, but the focus comes together in the end for a well-rounded narrative. Our top game is one that we feel more people should play for its narrative, character development, and unique systems. World End Syndrome gives players a mysterious story that evolves across multiple playthroughs. After a student is found dead, the town's secrets are exposed, and you'll be on the front lines of discovering exactly what the cause of it all is. Will it lead to you dying? Maybe. Or falling in love without actually solving anything? Quite possibly, but the more you play, the more you learn. If that wasn't enough, you get to hang out with a handful of cute girls who are each exceptionally well illustrated across plenty of backgrounds. There's some added adventure segments where you can choose what to do during your day, as well as progresses the story. This isn't a narrative that you'd want spoiled, but it's one that we hope more gamers enjoy. And that's our list. Let us know if there are any games that you think are good but didn't get enough attention from the PlayStation 4 era in the comments below, and thank you for watching.